Hello everybody, and welcome to our kickoff for the consuls who are joined us just recently. A very, very warm welcome from our side, from InterNations here at the headquarters in Munich, and also warm welcome to the consul community worldwide, to those who are just very new in their roles. It's not that warm here in Munich. It's been snowing the whole night, so I hope in the parts of the world where you guys from, it's much, much better. So I'm really glad to see that quite a few of you already submitted your questions, and I'm really glad to open the floor for even more questions here in the Hangout. So please do use this opportunity, check the Q&A app and post your questions online. Today, I'm not here by myself, as you can see. So my name is Anastasiya. I'm here representing the InterNations Academy, trying to give as much support as possible to you guys to start off into a new role as InterNations Consul. But also I have Elena with me.
Hello, everybody. I'm Elena. I'm actually probably the point of contact for some of you because I'm responsible for Asia, except China and Oceania. So hello, everybody, and welcome once again. And I'm excited to start and go through all your questions.
Thank you, Elena. And of course, we have quite a special guest today. This is Vera. Vera is representing both the InterNations as a company, because she's our PR senior manager, but also she's representing the Consul side of our company. Vera, welcome on board today.
Hi, guys. Yeah, so as Anastasiya just mentioned, I work for InterNations, but I'm a consul too, and it might not be surprised to hear that I started off as a member and consul first, and then ended up to work for InterNations, just because I really like what we do here and how we help people around the world, which was my primary motivation to start as a consul, and then also to become to actually provide my professional skills for the company. You might be interested in what groups I have been hosting or taking care of in the past. I used to be a consul for the volunteer group, but not anymore. We have new volunteers now who are taking care of that here in Munich, but I still am and have been for quite a while now the consul of the Swiss group here in Munich because, well, you might have guessed, so I am Swiss. So my goal is to practically get together all those people from Switzerland and people who are interested in the Swiss culture and Swiss languages spoken in Switzerland throughout my activities for the Swiss group.
Thank you very much, Vera. It's really nice also to see that we're having people who are preaching what we are trying to achieve, who are living it, who are living this also consulship in their everyday lives. So I'm really glad that we have you as part of the team. And I would really encourage everybody who's viewing, excuse me, who's viewing us right now to submit your questions. Because we are here to support you, and Vera can really give you some very helpful and useful tips and advice in order to get to the best possible start in your consul role. We do have quite a few questions already in our app, so let me just start answering those first. From Adi, we have a question. He's a new consul, obviously, and he's asking what would be the best practice to get public, not only in the own group, but also in other groups in the whole local community. So what would be your tips, your advice on how to promote your activities in the local community?
So what I did a lot was actually to mention my group when I attended other activities or events. So when I would be speaking to other InterNations members and I realized that they in some kind had interest in other cultures or spoke several languages, of course, as almost everyone does here at InterNations. And then I would just mention that I have my own group and that they are, of course, welcome to join. And I would be happy to see them there again, and that worked out quite well actually, and I have quite a few friends who have become like, you know, members of my own group just because I met them somewhere else at one of the other events or activities. And then also depending on what kind of groups you are a consul of, sometimes it might be possible to inform other consuls or bigger groups what you are planning. Because, for example, if I were, let's say, if I were setting up a hike for the Swiss group, I could maybe ask the consul of the outdoor group here in Munich, which is a really big group, whether I would be allowed to inform the members of that group that I am organizing a hike, because of course that is what the outdoor group usually does. And that is another possibility to largen your own audience. Yeah, what else did I do? Yeah, of course, what you can also do, especially if you are a consul for a language or a culture group, you can welcome new people in the network. I haven't done that myself yet, but I know that other consuls have done that. Like let's say if you are the consul of the Russian culture group, whenever a new Russian joins the network, you could personally welcome that person and be like, hi, if you want to get in touch with other Russians in the region, feel free to join our group. We regularly meet, and so on and so forth. So I did experience that myself as a member and not a consul, and I thought that was quite a nice way to make people aware of interesting groups that are relevant to them.
Yeah, thank you, Vera.
Yeah.
Elena, would you have something?
Yeah, exactly. No, I completely agree with Vera. Everything that she pointed out, we always actually suggest that to our consuls. It's really important, yeah, to attend other activities, also other events, to make yourself visible also into the community and let people know about your group and an upcoming activity when you're ready, like posted one. Also, another way to get some extra promotion would be, as Vera already said, contact the consul of maybe like another group that has a topic or a similar topic with yours. And for example, what you can also do is get his permission and just let him know about. You can post the link to your activity into his group wall. Let's say you have, I don't know, in a tiny community, there are not a lot of sports group, but there's like a general sport group. And you are the consul of a soccer group, like the only specific sport group in your community. So you might also want to get the attention of the sporty people in the community. So I would recommend you to post the link to your activity in the sports group wall. Also, another thing you could do in order to reach more members, it's to go and do the same in your town talk forum. Mm-hmm. So go to the forum, because usually all members have access to it. So maybe I'm just new and I'm just having a look into the forum. I'm not that sure, I'm not aware about what groups and activities and events are. And I might be looking for, I don't know, in my case, maybe someone to have as a tandem for German, but also, oh, I love tennis, and oh, it looks like something is going on related to tennis. So let's have a look to the post, and then you might want to join the group, to join the activity if you can, etc. And it's also a way to spread the word through the whole community, because also basing members have access to it. So you might also get their attention, as they probably won't be able to see that much details in your group.
Yeah, thank you, Elena. I think what's also worth mentioning is, since all of you who are watching us right now have joined InterNations in the month of February, so within the last month, we do have some kind of feature that supports promotion of new activities created by new consuls on the website. So on the starting page, we give a bit of advantage to the new consuls of the new groups in order to promote their activities online. And you can see on the start page those activities, those posts being on the top of the list. So I think that's also, you should take advantage of this, being new in the community in your consulship role, and create more awareness. We're trying to help you at least to create more awareness around your activities. So I hope this was a good answer for Adi. Thank you very much for your question and also for the answers, girls. So, okay, we posted an activity, we created awareness, we got in touch with more members, we advertised our activity. But the problem that, for example, Vasa comes across is, and she posted her question in the Q&A app, what could be the practical procedure, what could be the advice we can follow in order to get in touch with the places to host the activities? And also to book them for that reason. Vera, would you have some input on that?
Sure. Well, of course, it very much depends on what kind of activity you want to arrange. It's always easier if you arrange something that is not limited, where you don't need to bring the exact amount of people that you have arranged for. For example, yeah, if you do like sports activities or so, that is not that important. But of course, at InterNations, we have a lot of different dinner activities, or we meet at bars to drink something together. And then, of course, that is important because the venue depends on that we show up. And what I found is, I personally found the perfect venue for my group. I personally met the owner, which is always a plus. Like if you get a chance to explain to the owner what you do and who you are, usually you will get a lot of interest. They will be interested in what you do, and they will be very willing to support you and to be the perfect venue for what you are organizing. So that is the first recommendation I would definitely give you. If you get a chance, try to meet the owner or the organizer of the venue to like present yourself personally. And when it comes to finding a new venue, like as I mentioned, I found a perfect one, but maybe at some point I might want to switch, or I might want to, do another activity somewhere else. What I always do is I mention this to my guests, like when we meet. I mention that I'm interested in learning about other venues, in my case, that are related to Switzerland, of any case, like, for example, by what they offer on their menu, or by the owner's nationality, for example. So I always mention that. By that, I already have a whole lot of people who can give me ideas and feedback on what kind of menus they enjoy and like, and they could imagine would be also suitable for this kind of activity. And that helped to be quite, that proved to be quite helpful in the past, actually. I got a really nice tip for a cafe once from a member who was attending one of my activities. So that is definitely something I would recommend. And then, of course, what I do as well, if I look for something specific or new, what I would do is like use apps such as TripAdvisor or something to find a suitable venue. Like if I were looking for a specific kind of food or nationality or something, then I would just try to find something that fits what I'm imagining. Also, many cities such as Munich here do have their own websites where they present like nice venues and locations. That is another possibility that you could look into.
Thank you, Vera. That's actually a very good point. I don't think we have mentioned yet the reference to the TripAdvisor and all different websites that you can have as a resource for the venue.
Exactly, yeah. I agree. It was really, really good advice. Get feedback from your members, because sometimes they might know a lot of venues that you weren't even aware of. I would add like a couple of things, not in order to find a venue, but maybe in order like how to get them on board, or just like, I would say, make them aware, for example, that this is a social network, so people are willing to attend, but of course, like you might count with some no-shows. So in this regard, I would always recommend while contacting a venue, try always, for example, if possible, to avoid any financial risk for yourself. For example, by ensuring with the venue the possibility to cancel maybe like 5 days in advance, or like make sure like that you have all those points clear with them, or by, for example, setting a deadline for prepayment with your own members. So let's say you need to tell the venue an exact number like 10 days in advance. So in your activity post, in your activity description, let members know, for example, even you are clicked on attend my activity, if I haven't received this amount of money, or the venue hasn't, you will not be counted. So the venue also knows an exact number, and also you know, because you might be expecting there are like 20 people, and in the end, like let's say 15 show up. So you also know who to greet, if there are new members in the group joining an activity for the first time, etc. Yeah, like a good tip on that, because we are now like a bit talking about prepayment, would be also create a second guest list where you are able to add everybody that confirmed you. Send, for example, a reminder email like a couple of days in advance, like, hey, remember, are you excited already about our Swiss meeting tomorrow? Here, Vera, like looking forward to meeting you and like to having fun with you, etc. And you could always, I think it's quite important to make clear that on your activity description, like have always like a kind of, let's say like disclaimer, just to raise awareness a bit, and like to stress the importance of, please, if you're not able to make it, sign off at least like a couple of days in advance. Because imagine that your activity guest list is limited. So if somebody doesn't come or can't come in the end, he's not leaving a spot for a new person to join. So that would be also like really important. And if your members know, then even better.
Elena, you just mentioned some really, really good tips that actually proved to be amazingly helpful for myself. I started like probably a year ago or so, I started to send out personal reminders to the members on the guest list about, in my case, I don't need to know very much upfront, so I sent them only 2 days before, because I often post my activities rather early. And then I would send a personal message to all those guests saying, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And as you mentioned, please make sure to unsubscribe in case you cannot come, because we have a lot of people who would like to join if there was a possibility. And that worked out really well. Like I already know now that during the last 2 days before the activity, some people cancel, which makes sense. You know, they get ill or they have too much work. We all know how life is, right? So I think it is important to, you know, have this possibility for people that they can cancel in case something happens. But then at the same time, I already know this is going to happen. So when I get questions before from other people, like for example, on the that they post a comment on the activity, or they send me a personal message, and they would say something like, "Hey, I would really like to attend this activity, but I saw it's already full." Then what I always say is make sure to check the activity, the guest list of the activity 1 or 2 days before, because I am sure you will find a spot. So just mark it in your calendar and make sure to register on the guest list once one place is available. And so far that worked out really well, and I did have quite a lot of people on the comment section where I just wrote them, make sure to keep your eyes open and you will be able to attend. And then I was also able to keep up my numbers, because those people who were interested to join but who weren't on the guest list in the first place could just, you know, kind of jump in when those people had to cancel because of different reasons. You know, as a consul, you will sometimes you will even get personal emails explaining why someone cannot join, like because a flight is delayed coming back from another part of the country, or because they got ill, or because they're still at work. You will get those emails, and I personally think we do need to, you know, be ready for it, and then it's part of, you know, our activity management that this can happen. But at the same time, there's definitely usually enough people who can take the space as long as they know that they can subscribe on a short notice. So I always make sure that I communicate this.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. I think that's very helpful for the ones who are just joining us in their consul role, and I think that would be a really good tip, really good advice for them, how to manage their attendees, how to communicate with them, but also to have a clear communication with the venue, with the restaurant, especially if you have a certain number of reservations in place. That would also, this kind of communication with the members of the group and the attendees that are planning to join will also help to support the good relationship with the venue. And then if you're clear, if you're honest and open in your communication, you will have a good relationship with the venue, meaning that you can use it over and over again for your activities. And they would be happy to host you. I hope the question of Vasa is answered. That was a very long answer. Thank you very much for your input. We have another question. I guess it's more directed to Elena. As a consul, is it a must organizing an event every month? I'm a consul of a biking group, and in winter time, normally people wouldn't like to go biking a lot. Seasonal activity, right? I think it would be more positive from around May until September. What is your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, hello. It's true that we ask our consuls to post on a monthly basis, not because this is like a must, as like she's mentioning, but also because it keeps like your group active. But of course we are aware, like we have, you are not the first one, you would be like the last one to ask about this question, because we also have like skiing groups, beach groups, etc. So we were discussing also about this with our colleagues, with my colleagues like a few months ago. And for example, a nice idea would be get a co-consul on board and try to have or to create like a mixed group. Let's say I go biking on on summer, and I go skiing or doing something different on winter, because that will help like keep your group active. So, and your members will see that you keep doing activities, that you haven't forgotten about the group as a consul, that you still want to do things to bring them together, because it's quite important. Some members that might have been in your group for a while, they would probably know, okay, I talked to the consul, she told me, you know, like the weather is not the best, it's not the best timing now. For example, if I wanted to go now biking in Munich, I can assure you I wouldn't, because it's like everything's so wide. But for example, if I'm a new member in your group and I don't know about it, and then I just get in and I see, oh, this group has been has no activity or has been inactive for 5-6 months now, probably as a new member, I won't go back to your group, or I will not even join the group. So yeah, we also encourage, for example, if you have any other kind of activities in mind that could be somehow related, for example, I don't know, in this case with biking, I don't know, the Tour de France is going on, let's meet with your members and have watch it for one day, or maybe there's a movie going on like about or a documentary, etc. Feel free to join also these activities. I mean, you can open your mind a bit. Don't be, sometimes I think we really focus on, okay, that's a cycling group, so I only have to cycle. That's all the activities I need to do. Don't worry, try to investigate a bit more, like do other things that could be somehow related, and it's fine. And of course, you can always contact us here in headquarters, and we might have plenty of new ideas, because we also have other consuls that have the same kind of group in other communities. So we can also provide you with the links to their activities, etc. So to give you some extra input. And of course, like also by yourself, feel free to change your home community and surf a bit into other communities, and let's see what other consuls are doing.
Yeah, I actually have a very specific tip for this cycling group that I saw in the motorbike group here in Munich, and I thought it was quite charming. Of course, motorbikes can't really, be driven during winter either, so they have a very similar problem. But what they did then was to meet up regularly for a beer, and they discussed new tours for summer. So they would just discuss where to go and what to do in summer, what members were interested, and they just met up for a drink to discuss their plans and maybe also talk about, I don't know what motorbikers talk about, like tools and what to buy for the next season, the best new gloves available or something like that. So I could definitely imagine that for a cycling group as well.
Exactly, that's actually a really good tip. And maybe like as a consul, you might want to every once in a while to have like a get together in a bar or for a coffee or even for breakfast, etc. Also to get to know like all the new members in your group, so they know already who is in there, who might be like joining the activities together with them. They might to get to know you, and of course, like as Vera, as you already mentioned, they might have like really nice ideas, and like they also might tell you what are they expecting from the group. So also you have a better input on how to keep going and what type of activities to organize, etc.
Yeah, so don't focus, basically the message of this part of the conversation was don't focus on solely biking activities, but also try to involve maybe watching movies, watching competition, getting together and planning your biking tours for the summer. So I think these are really good tips in order to keep your group alive and make sure that when the time comes when you actually can bike in springtime, then you won't be alone doing that. So I think thank you very much for your input, girls. Another question, I think it's mostly concerned like more of the guidelines part, because it's about abuse reporting. So the Consul have seen several people at the events and even received messages on the InterNations platform for people who they've never met and they lived far away. Should they report these people if they consider that it's kind of a dating or sex abuse case or anything that could be potentially dangerous for our membership base?
Yes, sure, absolutely. That's why also, for example, if you are navigating through the platform, you would always have the possibility to abuse report. There's also this abuse report function to report whatever you want to report, to let us know. For example, in this case, let's say you received like a message from another member that you think it's not appropriate, you can report it to us, because the text that you have reported would be able, we would be able to see it. Or for example, you think you've met somebody and it was also not acting in a correctly way during the event, during the activity, and then you check his profile and you, oh, actually this is not the person I've met yesterday. You can also abuse report a profile. You can abuse report a comment on the wall of the group, a comment on the forum, etc. And we encourage you to do that, because for us it's the only way we can take, we would be able to take action on it. Because of course, if you tell us on an email or something but we cannot find evidence, we need proof of it. So if you say you report this person and after you like 10 more members do the same, well, then something is really going on. And of course, like we can also see, like check the text you reported, then that's really, really helpful actually for our quality assurance team. So definitely don't be afraid. Use the function. It's useful. And if, for example, you get these kind of questions coming from your members, let them know about it, because there's so many things on the website, and sometimes I'm not sure what this is for, what that is for. So yeah, just let them know, explain them why and why they should follow this procedure, and should be fine. And hopefully no more dating proposals come back again.
Unwanted. Maybe some people do want them. Yeah, I could just add that just be very specific when you click the abuse button and reporting something, so we have as much information as possible in order to track the case. And please do it, because of course we are an online community and we cannot be present in every single local community, in every single city, and therefore we do rely on the reports from the members of specific cases in order to make our community more better and more trusted. So yeah, thank you for the question. We do have also a couple of questions from Radu. I think it's more related to the support, so it will be very fast. Who is the person in charge of consuls and activities in Romania?
Well, hello, Radu. Then you would need to contact my colleague, Katie. Probably you received a welcome email from her. So just search into your account and just get back to her, and she will, as soon as she can, and that would not be more than, I could say, like 2-3 days, she will get back to you and give you like extra tips for whatever you need. So yeah, feel free. That's what we are here for. So don't be afraid. No questions are stupid questions. I think that's really important. Don't be afraid of to ask us whatever you need. Yeah, we will happily help you. Actually, that's why we're here for. So we are happy to receive any kind of doubts, etc., ideas, everything you have in mind. So use us.
Yeah, exactly. We're here to support you, and especially contact persons at the headquarters, your group's managers. I think Rada also had a question around creating the events. If you rather have some problems, if you encountered some issues on the platform, you cannot post an activity, or you have troubles, you cannot find where to do so, please do write your contact person, Katie, and she will get back to you with all the answers.
Exactly. You can use either this or also use like the support function.
Exactly. So either Katie or any other member of the team will get back to you with the answers. Thank you, Rada, for your question. And now, since we are coming to a logical end of our Hangout, I would like to ask Vera to give us the one piece of advice that you think would be very beneficial and very useful for the new consuls who have joined us recently.
The one piece of advice. Oh, that is a difficult question. Well, personally, for me, because I have a very busy life, in order to keep up with regular activities, for me it's most important that I schedule my activities very early. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to post them right away, but I really, free my own time to ensure that I regularly arrange activities for my own group. And I can tell you one thing: you will be rewarded for your efforts. I mean, of course, it takes a bit of time and energy to arrange something. The more often you do it, the easier it's gonna get. But you will be rewarded. Like after the last activity I did, I got at least 3 or 4 personal messages thanking me for this wonderful evening, and like confirming that those people would attend again next time. So they really appreciate what you do. And they are thankful that you take this all in your hands and that you organize something so nice so people could meet and interact. And that is basically why I do it. That is why I really, take the time and energy, because I just enjoy meeting those people, and I enjoy making them happy with what I can do, what I can arrange for them.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. What would be your top?
Yeah, for Consul, I would say keep it simple and do something that you really enjoy. I mean, as Vera also mentioned, she has fun preparing activities, meeting new people, etc. So it's important that you also see yourself reflected a bit on them. So, and that's the way to go. Like, if you really like it, you will really enjoy preparing them, planning, and then also like everything that comes afterwards. All these like thankful messages, like Vera received, for example, already, and I think that's, you can also see people are grateful, and that your hard work on planning and on contacting the venue and on trying to welcome everybody into the group and trying to keep this bonding between like your members. Yeah, that's a bit it's a big reward. So, and as long as it is something you like, go for it. Exactly.
So yes, so have fun and enjoy your activities and creating your first activities. From my part, I hope this hangout was helpful and we managed to answer all of your questions that you have posted here in the Q&A app to best of our knowledge. But of course, the advantage of being this exclusive community is that you have quite a lot of support resources that you can use to your advantage. So please don't hesitate in case you have any specific questions to contact your group's manager responsible for your local community. They do oversee quite a few local communities themselves, like Elena, for example, having a lot of groups and a lot of consuls, and they can really support you with helpful and very practical tips and advice that helped other consuls to get to be successful in their activities. Also, if you do have co-consuls, reach out to them, ask for advice, especially if they've been with the group for a longer time that you are. If you do have similar groups, if your community is bigger, if you have similar groups in your community, get in touch with other consuls to exchange, to learn from their experience. We do have this huge amount of information that's been sent to you with the when we are welcoming you on board in the consul manual. Do refer to this to these pages, because they do contain quite a few really helpful things for you to start in your new role. And of course, don't forget your local community. Reach out for new ideas, reach out for suggestion of venues, and just to promote your activities as well. So local community is really important in terms of supporting you in your new role. So once again, I would like to welcome all of you to our InterNations Consul community, and we're definitely looking forward to seeing all the exciting and cool activities coming up from your side. And as I say, stay in touch. Let us know how it goes. Give us any feedback. Ask us any questions. We would love to hear from you, definitely. So thank you, Elena. Thank you, Vera, for participating in the Hangout today. And I'm saying, till next time. Yours, InterNations Academy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.